abandoned in the panic. Some survivors of Sunday's bomb attack are back to look for their belongings. This is where the choir had been sitting. Outside, the wreckage of the car bomb is now drawing the crowds. When the bomb went off, soldiers poured onto the streets here, and the mood very quickly changed from one of shock at what had just happened to one of fear. Because it's not just the bombs that people are afraid of. In parts of northern Nigeria, it's the military response that's also caused a great deal of suffering. In the city of Kano, a father is grieving for a son. He tells me 18-year-old Ahmed was the breadwinner, but when Boko Haram gunmen attacked nearby, soldiers went looking for suspects.
They start to fire without calling anybody, without even what is wrong. They start to fire, and that's how they fire my son.
He tells me the soldiers opened fire on the unarmed civilians. His son died from the gunshot wound. The bustling cities of Kaduna and Kano have seen a lot of violence, but they're a safe haven for people fleeing the incessant insecurity in parts of the northeast. Some say they feel trapped between the army and the Islamist fighters. This man fled Potiskum town. He says he saw the army shooting civilians, and then he visited the hospital.
I see people, more than 30 people.
30 bodies?
30 bodies inside the hospital. I see them with my naked eyes, and I counted them.
Northern Nigeria is becoming more militarised, but human rights groups warn that the heavy-handed response could boost support for Boko Haram.
When a child sees their parent killed by the security forces, or they have their house burnt down, the effect of that is going to be to strengthen support from the group rather than to hinder it.
Amnesty says it has consistent accounts of people being beaten to death in detention and other unlawful killings. The Nigerian army says it's a professional force.
There is no Nigerian soldier that goes out of the street to just kill innocent Nigerians. So whatever we do, we always make sure is done within the ambit of the law.
The people living through this conflict show extraordinary resilience. Their homes destroyed by the bomb, they're forced to move on. The latest victims in this cycle of violence. Will Ross, BBC News, Kaduna, Nigeria.